Imagine swinging open the door of a tiny urban home and being greeted by vines curling overhead, herbs perfuming the air, and sunlight dancing across compact, cleverly layered living space. That's the magic we are diving into today on Luxury Home Decor. In the next few minutes, you'll discover how to blend vertical gardens, multifunctional furniture, and season-proof palettes so seamlessly that every square foot feels like an oasis rather than a compromise. Let's start with the season ahead. A crisp autumn that begs for warmth without sacrificing precious inches. Swap bulky throws for merino blend wraps that fold into ottomans. And introduce sculptural LED candles in copper holders to echo falling leaves. A slender bar cart doubles as a planter stand when topped with trailing pothos, letting you celebrate harvest hues while preserving circulation paths in spaces barely wider than a studio hallway. For winter, think vertical. Floor-to-ceiling pegboards painted a muted pine green become living walls for hardy succulents and modular baskets that store scarves or pet toys. The greenery adds humidity to heated rooms, and the pegs let you rearrange ornaments for holiday cheer without hammering new holes. Pair this with a love seat that converts into guest bedding. Ticking stripe slipcovers lend cottage charm while resisting the inevitable cocoa spill on cozy movie nights. Spring arrives with an urge to declutter and breathe. Replace heavy window treatments with sheer recycled cotton panels that filter light like watercolor washes, making even tight corners feel expansive. Mount fold-away planting shelves beneath each sill. Fill them with basil, parsley, and cherry tomatoes for farm-to-table freshness regardless of square footage. A simple coat of eggshell white paint, cut with a drop of mint, harmonizes walls with the lively greens sprouting throughout your microgarden. When summer heat rolls in, cool things down by introducing reflective surfaces that double as art. Think mirrored hexagon tiles positioned behind an indoor citrus tree. They bounce daylight deep into the room and make foliage appear lush and multiplied. Swap wool area rugs for jute runners that allow floors to breathe. And anchor seating with ice blue linen cushions whose covers stash inside a bench whenever the balcony beckons for open-air dinners. Throughout every season, color defines mood. In a petite footprint, use a restrained palette anchored by two dominant hues and one accent. Perhaps graphite gray cabinets paired with sage upholstery, punctuated by saffron planters that draw the eye upward. This trio works across styles from modern Scandinavian to boho chic, ensuring cohesion whether your garden grows in mason jars or galvanized troughs. Remember, repeating colors vertically elongates walls and visually lifts low ceilings. Budget-friendly transformations often start with rethinking furniture legs. Swapping bulky block bases for tapered hairpin steel instantly opens sightlines and frees floor beneath for rolling storage crates of potting soil or seasonal throw pillows. Top those sleek legs with reclaimed wood surfaces. Their organic textures balance the metal and eco garden planters outside. Apply the same principle to lighting. A slimline task lamp with a clamp replaces a traditional desk lamp and costs half as much. Space optimization becomes an art form in urban settings where every inch is premium real estate. Consider installing pocket doors between kitchenette and living room. Painted to match walls, they disappear when slid open, allowing natural airflow from balcony to attic vent. The void inside the doorframe hides a shallow bookshelf perfect for seed catalogs or spice jars, proving that architectural features can multitask just like convertible daybeds or lift-top coffee tables. Vertical gardening remains a star technique, yet too many planters can overcrowd. Instead, cluster pots by plant family. Aromatic herbs near the stove, pollinator flowers beside windows, and low-maintenance ferns in humid bathroom corners. Use matte black S-hooks on ceiling tracks so you can slide greenery toward light throughout the day. This living curtain not only freshens air but also gives flexible privacy. Ideal for ground floor apartments along bustling urban blocks. Lighting shapes perception of scale. Swap a single overhead bulb for layered illumination. LED strip lights tucked beneath floating shelves, micro pendants above breakfast bars, and battery-powered fairy strings woven through trellised ivy. Together they draw the eye diagonally, tricking the mind into reading height and depth. Warm white temperature, around 2700 Kelvin, softens edges at night, making narrow rooms feel expansive without pricey renovations. Add a countertop-sized salt lamp for soothing winter ambience. Texture adds depth, especially vital where wall length is limited. Introduce linen tea towels, terracotta herb pots, and hand-woven macrame hangers to complement sleek induction cooktops and stainless appliances. Juxtaposition invites the senses, making a petite kitchen feel curated rather than cramped. Repeat tactile accents outdoors with rough-hewn cedar planter boxes, reinforcing a narrative that flows from sink to balcony garden, blurring the boundary between interior and exterior experiences for year-round continuity. Design principles like repetition and rhythm guide small space harmony. Align planter heights in ascending order along windowsills to mimic musical scales, and mirror that progression with ascending pendant lengths over the dining nook. The subtle rise and fall leads the eye fluidly, preventing visual traffic jams. Reinforce rhythm through striped table runners or slatted wall panels whose grooves echo balcony deckboards, crafting continuity despite the compressed footprint and delighting guests with unexpected coherence. Incorporating sustainable materials not only benefits the planet but also injects story into decor. Bamboo flooring harvested from fast-growing groves lends resilience underfoot, while recycled glass backsplash tiles refract garden light like tiny prisms. Choose VOC-free paints infused with natural clay pigments, amplifying earthy undertones that harmonize with terracotta planters. These eco-minded choices often cost less in the long run, as durability reduces replacement cycles and qualifies for green tax incentives in many cities. Furniture scale demands precision. A sofa narrower than 70 inches may feel like a love seat but can seat 3 when paired with triangular side tables that tuck beneath armrests. Opt for armless silhouettes to keep sight lines open toward your vertical garden. If additional seating is needed, rolling poufs upholstered in outdoor fabric double as footstools and withstand balcony humidity. Remember, proportional furniture ensures traffic flows smoothly even during a brunch gathering. Color psychology plays a strategic role in tiny sanctuaries. Shades of deep forest green evoke the calm of expansive woods, subtly countering urban bustle. Pair with accents of warm terracotta to ground the palate, and sprinkle small hits of brass hardware for sophistication. This trio works across seasons. Lush in summer, cozy under winter lamplight, refreshing in spring, and harmonious with fallen autumn leaves. Let color become your silent narrative guide. If chronicles of mid-century style inspire you, adapt them to minimal square footage by selecting pieces with raised legs, long lines, and subdued tones. A teak credenza becomes both media cabinet and planter pedestal when topped with trailing philodendron. Combine that with a low-profile walnut dining table whose leaves fold out only during dinner parties. Mid-century echoes deliver nostalgia without clutter, reminding you that good design respects both history and limited space. Design often overlooks the senses of sound and scent, yet they transform compact living dramatically. Hang bamboo wind chimes beside sliding doors for gentle acoustics that blend with city breezes. Infuse rooms with basil or lavender grown in aeroponic towers, releasing calming aromas when brushed. Consider an indoor tabletop fountain doubling as drinking station for pets. Its trickle masks street noise while reflecting potted plants in its smooth surface for soothing urban retreats. Storage disguises itself as art in successful tiny homes. Install a peg-rail picture ledge along hallways. Alternate framed botanical prints with woven baskets hiding toolkits or extra seeds. Above the bed, mount shallow glass front drawers salvaged from antique printers' cabinets to display seed packets like gallery pieces. These transparent compartments invite curiosity while reminding you to rotate garden crops seasonally, all without devoting a single closet shelf to horticulture supplies. Garden zones need clear definition even on balconies. Use outdoor rated rugs in high contrast patterns to anchor dining versus lounging vignettes. Tall bamboo screens divide the space, supporting climbing beans on one side while offering reading nook privacy on the other. Position solar lanterns at varying heights to signal pathways, ensuring nighttime safety. With intentional zoning, a 4 by 8 foot terrace suddenly functions like a miniature estate garden, complete with dining room, library, and orchard. Multifunctional decor pays dividends when rents climb. A collapsible potting bench folds down against the wall into an art frame displaying pressed leaves. An ottoman conceals a greenhouse-style grow light for propagating cuttings at night, then supports coffee trays by day. Seek hardware with snap-off hinges and magnetic closures so transformations feel effortless. Whether entertaining friends or harvesting microgreens, your pieces adapt, eliminating the need for storage units across town. Personalization elevates tiny dwellings from catalog perfect to soul-stirring. Paint planterboxes in ombre gradients reflecting memorable sunsets, or stencil coordinates of your childhood hometown onto a reclaimed door used as headboard. Introduce vintage seed packets sourced from weekend markets into gallery walls, connecting past agricultural lore to modern balcony harvests. These autobiographical touches remind visitors that even within limited perimeters, stories can sprawl like ivy across rooftop trellises beautifully. Consider the often ignored ceiling as your fifth wall. Paint it a soft sky blue to echo garden decor. Then hang lightweight rattan pendants staggered at varying chords to mimic floating clouds. Ceiling-mounted planters cradle trailing strawberries, freeing counter space and creating whimsical overhead orchards. This vertical inversion encourages viewers to look up, enlarging spatial perception and maximizing every cubic inch available in dense urban apartments. Remember, height is the hidden frontier of microliving. For renters constrained by strict lease agreements, removable solutions reign supreme. Adhesive-backed vinyl floor tiles in geometric motifs freshen drab kitchens, peeling away cleanly on move-out day. Tension rods support hanging gardens between window frames, requiring zero drilling yet holding weighty ceramic pots if placed properly. Peel-and-stick wood-grain wall panels deliver cabin charm without forfeiting security deposits. With strategic choices, rental status never limits creativity or long-term value improvement for these compact sanctuaries. Technology assists gardening when sunlight is scarce. Install smart LED grow strips calibrated through phone apps to shift spectrum from seedling blue to flowering red automatically. Soil sensors the size of USB drives alert you about moisture so you water only when necessary, conserving both space and resources. Compact hydroponic towers fit in kitchen corners, producing lettuce in 3 weeks without messy dirt, proving that futuristic tech and homestead dreams can coexist gracefully. Patterns wield power but can overwhelm small rooms. Limit bold prints to 20% of visible surfaces. For example, layer a large-scale botanical cushion on an otherwise solid sofa, and echo its motif in a single framed art piece across the room. The twin accents communicate intention without clutter. Meanwhile, flooring should remain neutral. Try pale herringbone vinyl that visually widens the area and stages your colorful textiles like gallery installations. Mindful pathways ensure flow. Arrange furniture so that no route from entryway to balcony exceeds 2 90-degree turns, keeping movement intuitive even for first-time guests. A narrow console just inside the door corrals mail and keys, freeing pocket-size counters for herb snips. Avoid overhead cabinetry above eye level in these paths. Instead, install slim pegboard strips to hold garden gloves or mugs, maintaining breathable corridors without wasting wall potential or closing sightlines. Accommodating pets within tight spaces requires ingenuity. Build a lofted planter bench where cat naps beneath a faux grass cushion while oregano grows safely above. Integrate a pull-out drawer with scratch-resistant mat for litter, vented through an odor-absorbing bamboo charcoal filter. Dogs benefit from collapsible wall-mounted feeding stations that fold flush when not in use, ensuring the hallway remains unobstructed. The secret lies in honoring animal routines without compromising human ergonomics. Budget constraints teach creativity. Raid reclamation yards for old window frames and convert them into cold frame garden boxes. Paint them white to bounce light back onto seedlings. Repurpose bakery racks, often sold cheaply, as rolling vertical gardens that glide indoors during storms. Even broken terracotta shards become drainage crocks, saving you from purchasing plastic fillers. Every salvaged item gains new life, reducing landfill waste and stretching design budgets simultaneously, beautifully. Smart furniture subdivisions enable privacy within studio layouts. Sliding shoji screens with translucent rice paper separate sleeping quarters without blocking plant light. Behind the screen, a Murphy bed lowers over a row of dwarf citrus trees growing under grow lights, scenting linens with subtle perfume. During daytime, the bed lifts, and the screen becomes projection backdrop for films. The dance between day and night functions extends usable area far beyond blueprint numbers. Acoustic panels need not scream corporate office. Fashion them from cork sheets wrapped in botanical fabric, then mount them as hexagon clusters mimicking honeycomb. They absorb echo created by hard tile floors, making conversation intimate even in echo-prone concrete lofts. Place several behind a wall-hung herb rack. The scent plus sound dampening creates a multi-sensory calming corner. Good acoustics reinforce the tranquil garden atmosphere that underpins your tiny home sanctuary. Lighting control extends beyond lumens to biological rhythms. Program smart bulbs to warm gradually at dawn, coaxing both occupants and seedlings awake gently. At dusk, dim to candlelight tones that trigger melatonin production. Then shift balcony string lights to soft amber so neighbors' windows see less glare. Harmonizing circadian cycles preserves energy, promotes restful sleep, and keeps your indoor garden thriving in sync with human routines. A win for wellness and design. Material continuity between indoor and outdoor spaces visually expands area. If interior floors sport light oak laminate, mirror the tone with weather-resistant composite decking outside. Carry hardware finishes, perhaps matte black, onto balcony rail planters and indoor shelf brackets. The seamless march of color and texture convinces the brain that walls no longer confine, effectively borrowing square footage from skyline views and evening breezes. Complement with shared textiles, like striped cushions that migrate between sofa and patio chairs. Strive for maintenance ease so beauty survives busy weeks. Self-watering planters with capillary mats reduce daily chores while preventing overwatering in tight quarters that lack outdoor drainage. Removable, washable sofa covers in light linen guard against soil smudges after balcony pruning sessions. Choose matte finishes over high gloss on cabinetry. Fingerprints hide better, letting you focus on nurturing greenery rather than endless polishing. Smart design should grant time for sipping tea amid your flourishing indoor forest.